Hello everybody, welcome to another Glasshouse Films presentation of a Midnight Review. I'm your lovely and bearded host Carson. Here's my also lovely but not bearded host Nick. And this week we are watching Hitman's Bodyguard, because I am still playing catch up.
Yeah, well, and there's not really been anything good.
Yeah, that too.
Weeks, so.
But I'll be all caught up for it next week.
Yeah, better late than never.
Yeah, so yeah, Hitman's Bodyguard. I still have not looked up anything about this movie. All I know is what the trailers have presented. And what the trailers have presented looks like a pretty damn funny movie.
Yeah. I mean, I still am like, no idea what the plot is about at all. Which I think
I actually kind of got the plot from the second trailer.
Oh, okay. I think I saw the very first trailer and then whatever we saw in theaters.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the basics, and this isn't even going all the way into the plot, is just Ryan Reynolds has to protect Samuel L. Jackson.
He's got to be the Hitman's bodyguard.
Exactly.
That's about all I know. It's in the title.
That and how much this movie has parodied The Bodyguard, starring Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. So I'm like, all right, you guys got it. This looks funny. I mean, right off the bat, you got Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, two of the funniest, but not trying to be funny guys.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson, it's like he's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
And like, I almost said Ryan Gosling every time. Ryan Reynolds is like one of those guys who I always hear people describe him as like, they don't expect him to be as funny as he is because of how good looking he is. And that's why Deadpool works so well. Yeah. So you don't have to see his beautiful Adonis DNA face. And so it's like surprising when he's funny because you're like, ugh. But he's so good looking too.
Yeah.
So it's surprising.
I mean, I think Penelope Cruz is in this movie too, but
that's news to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson's show
for sure.
And the biggest thing that I'm happy about with this combo and with this movie is the fact that it's rated R. And it looks like it's going to be like a hard R.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that because you don't want to neuter these guys.
Yeah, I'm just stoked to watch something that's not an adaptation. For, I love me some comic book movies. Yeah. Fuck The Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah, The Dark Tower was the last one you watched.
I am excited for it.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're going from Stephen King to Stephen King almost.
Yeah, and I missed Logan Lucky.
That one's an original script too.
I'm just stoked to finally see something that I don't have to like.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna compare it to the source material because 90% of the stuff that comes out, it's like really popular stuff that I've read or watched at some point.
Shit, man, two of the best movies I've seen this year, original stories, Baby Driver and Logan Lucky.
Yeah, so.
But, alright, well, enough talking about Hitman's Bodyguard. Let's go in and watch The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
I'm a AAA rated executive protection agent. And you're the most wanted hitman in the world. My job is to keep you out of harm's way.
Yeah, this is going on like the top 5 disappointing movies of the year.
I don't know. I mean, I think that
there were like a handful of funny bits, but that movie was 2 hours and 11 minutes.
It was long, but I don't know. I don't think it was terrible. I just think it was a kind of.
It was disappointing. Like, it wasn't the. It's easily not the worst.
I wasn't expecting.
I was expecting funnier.
Story-wise, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I just thought it fell victim to, in making fun of a lot of tropes. It fell victim to a lot of tropes.
Okay, so this is
hard to. It's just like, the plot went exactly where I thought it was going to go because there's not really a whole ton of places you can go,
and that's fine
with that kind of plot. And, and that was fine. I just think
basically get Samuel L. Jackson, deliver the payload, get him from UK to who cares? It's just wasn't that funny. Like there were a few moments where I was laughing because I was like, okay, and then it just didn't go anywhere. So it's like when you want to sneeze and you can't.
It was very much like, oh hey, like Deadpool was like a funny movie, so let's just have Ryan Reynolds
But they didn't give him a lot of shit to do.
I mean, I thought he was the funniest part of that movie. I think, Samuel L. Jackson was his impersonation of Samuel L. Jackson's character in that movie.
Okay, that part was
just
funny.
was just like an entire synopsis of like Samuel L. Jackson's career, where he's just sitting there talking to the bartender, be like, talking about how much he says motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's made the word motherfucker uncool.
Yeah.
How he's ruined the word motherfucker for everyone else.
Although, I don't know, it's sad and weird when easily one of the funniest bits of the movie is how a motorcycle.
Yeah,
it's
like unintentionally hilarious.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think a couple really funny parts of that movie were unintentional, but like that was it was like the best and worst part, because it's like it was funny because the movie was like falling victim to a lot of the tropes it was making fun of, and like once you sort of realize that the movie's not gonna get any better, those bits became funny.
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
I don't think it was terrible. Like,
no, it wasn't terrible. I mean, we saw The Dark Tower.
we did see The Dark Tower. It was definitely better than The Dark Tower.
But so one of the things that hit me is the fact that we are treated to a pair of scenes. One is how Samuel L. Jackson meets his wife, and one is how Ryan Reynolds meets his girlfriend. And the way that the one with Samuel L. Jackson meeting his wife is played out is hysterical. And like the way every aspect of that scene is used is really funny. It's really good. But then you get the other side of that, and it's like, this is kind of...
I thought it was kind of like the way they tell the stories focused on like different aspects of like what about that story was important to them, though, which is why they were so different. Because like,
well, no, it's not so much the fact that they were different. It was the difference in comedy. Is like, okay, apparently he had a really good writer that day, but not a really great writer that day.
I don't know. I mean, it was almost like not supposed to be comedic, though, because you have Samuel L. Jackson's flashback, which is, you find out in the movie that his character's like really about love, and his like focuses on
me.
Yeah, but his flashback focuses on like his interpretation of like love at first sight, whereas Ryan Reynolds' character, like his backstory more so focuses on like if you notice, all the details of his flashback aren't focusing on like his girlfriend, but they're focusing on his job, and like what he was doing for his job, and like that is like the core of his character. Is like he cares more about his work, and Samuel L. Jackson cares more about the people, which is one of those things where you're like, whoa, it's kind of backwards from what you thought it would be, and then it just sort of leans heavy into that trope the rest of the movie.
It didn't work at all with the whole thing, is that Samuel L. Jackson's just a go-with-the-flow kind of guy, and he just makes it out, whereas Ryan Reynolds plans for everything but misses one thing. It's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the running joke throughout the movie, though.
Yeah, but it's not a good one.
Yeah, well, maybe not joke, just like I don't know, theme.
Yeah, and it's a crap theme. Don't be prepared, therefore you'll be awesome.
Well, I
mean that works in something like Deadpool,
and that's
but
taking
not
it to the extreme, though. Like, that's taking it to the extreme. It's not that he's not prepared. The guy just has the skills necessary. I'm gonna compare it to Pickle Rick. It's like Pickle Rick. He wasn't prepared for the situation, but he has all the skills he needs to get out of most situations.
Yeah, it was.
So I didn't have a problem with that. Most of the problem I had was like, just the. I don't even want to say it was like a half-baked like romance plot, because like, it was like a big chunk of the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't half-baked. It just like wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, like how much I hate misunderstanding plots.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
As soon as the inciting incident happened, I'm like, oh, this person did this, right?
Yeah, and like I thought it was going to be revealed like a lot earlier. The fact that it was supposed to be like some sort of reveal late in the movie was like not.
Further and further it went without explaining that, the more I'm like, oh no, and
Yeah.
The
aftermath
other
is kind of funny, but
the other big problem I had with it is it took way too long to get Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson in a room together.
yeah,
Like, that took way too long.
But I mean, it was over 2 hours long. So.
Yeah. I mean, that and there was some tonal shifts that were not. It was like we early in the movie we watch an innocent man and his family butchered, and it's like, whoa, what? No, this is no. This does not fit.
It did like radically change.
Yeah.
And like the thing that was sort of weird, and I don't know if a part of me almost thinks it couldn't have been intentional, but like it sort of had to be how like as you figure out, spoiler alert ish, that Samuel L. Jackson's character, what is his name? Something Kincaid. Whatever his name is.
Kincaid isn't
he's
quite
not
what
that bad of, he's like a badass with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But it's like, the further you go along, the more you learn about his character, the more, like, funny everybody getting killed becomes. Because you're just like, oh, I guess he's really, like, not that bad of a guy. And, like, you don't find out that Ryan Reynolds is, like, he's really not, like, a bad guy.
No, he isn't.
But it's funny because, like, you start at the beginning of the movie, like, someone dies, and you go, whoa, oh, no! Someone died, and then by the end of the movie, when people die, you're like, haha, yeah!
Yeah, I would definitely say
like on his side.
that Kincaid is, and it's kind of revealed early on that he's chaotic good, and Ryan Reynolds is just lawful neutral.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. I would have honestly preferred if Kincaid had leaned into it. He's like, yeah, I'm an evil motherfucker, but I get paid pretty well to do it.
Yeah, and they never really go too deep into that. He's just like, they kind of have like a brief scene where he's like, yeah, I don't think it's bad that I kill people. It's like the gist of it.
It is just okay.
I think they try to make you care about parts of the plot that like, or aspects of the character like you just don't really care about as a viewer.
Yeah.
Like, I liked the action in the movie ish for an like action comedy kind of movie. It really wasn't too
What's
bad.
weird
and
is
there was
there
like
were too many.
And there was like a good there was a lot of it.
But not great. But
it was kind of the point, because like all the action scenes kind of alternate between like who's sort of like dominating them. So it goes from kind of like, okay, well, here's like a Ryan Reynolds action scene, here's like a Samuel L. Jackson
but it wasn't presented in the coolest of way. Like, the comedy wasn't that great, but the action also wasn't that great. Whereas in Deadpool, the action was actually not bad, but the comedy was really great.
I think the action in Deadpool is super overrated, by the way. But
it's not. It's all right. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's all right. The comedy is great, but this movie doesn't really have either.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I don't think it was that bad.
No, and here's the thing. I'm not pissed off. I'm not like, fuck this movie. Don't.
Like, I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was just.
Like, I mean, it has the. Like, as far as what's coming out of Ryan Reynolds' mouth, it's like the exact same humor as Deadpool. Like, literally the only difference between the really long, like, monologues to himself, like, literally the only difference between those two monologues is that he's not talking about, like, chimichangas and his nuts.
Yeah.
So, if anything, I kind of liked his monologuing to himself more in this movie than I did in Deadpool, because I'm not really on the chimichanga Deadpool train.
Yeah.
I think that's the darkest timeline of Deadpool. So, like, I thought that part was funny. I thought Samuel L. Jackson's stuff was like, oh, like, it's just another one where it's like, okay, let's get Samuel L. Jackson to just, like, play every Samuel L. Jackson stereotype, where it's just like, let's have him go from straight face to laughing, like, every half second, and then, like, every line's just gonna be something, motherfucker. Like, yeah, it was funny at first, but when the movie's almost like 2.5 hours long, or like a little over 2 hours, it's like, all right. And then when they kept trying to add like more dimensions to like his character.
Oh yeah.
And like it was almost like, you know, people get more annoyed by like the straight-laced, you know, good guy cop kind of character like Ryan Reynolds, but I actually kind of liked his character because I don't know, because to me it was just funnier. as opposed to Samuel L. Jackson, where it was like, oh, they keep trying to add more layers to him, like when they give that one flashback. I literally can't even say what it is, or it just will spoil.
Yeah, but I know the one you're talking about.
That one flashback, and then they call it back, like, they call back to it like 30 minutes later, and I almost groaned when they did it, especially because that's like near the climax of the movie. I was like, dude, they're trying way too hard to add layers to his character that just like didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like, you already have like chaotic good hitman. As far as an action comedy goes, it's like all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need any more than that.
Spent too much time on half-baked characterization and not enough time on really funny jokes or good or great action. It was alright action.
I mean, yeah, the action was alright. Like, I thought I was more entertained than I was during Atomic Blonde with the action. With the exception of the one fight scene in Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
But like, overall,
but I will say the one fight scene where Ryan Reynolds is he's kind of one-on-one with another guy. That was actually really well constructed.
Yeah.
From the moment that he runs into the restaurant to the end, that was actually pretty good.
Spoiler. 3, 2, 1. I love me a warehouse fight scene.
Yes. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, I love me like a warehouse, like a hardware store fight scene.
Yeah.
Where you're looking at the wall and you're like, what are they gonna use?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they gonna use the jackhammer? Are they gonna use that really, really long screwdriver over there?
Yeah.
How about that bandsaw that someone left running?
Like it's not even Chekhov's gun at that point. You're just in a room of Chekhov's armory. It's like, okay, they can use anything.
Yeah, what are they gonna use?
Yeah.
Plug for the Equalizer. The Equalizer 2. Movie ends with a 30-minute long hardware store scene.
All right. I mean, yeah, it's not worth seeing in cinemas. If you pick it up from a Redbox or rent it, it's you won't be totally disappointed.
It's not terrible, and because I wasn't expecting anything other than like standard action comedy, it really wasn't that. Like, if you're gonna knowing what it's gonna be, so not that bad. It's not anything like Atomic Blonde, where I went into Atomic Blonde being like, yeah,
we were
like
pumped
girl
for that.
John Wick.
Yeah,
and
it was like, oh, this is a bunch of.
It had a good like 7 minutes.
Yeah, 7 minutes in heaven.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the time in purgatory.
Like, it just had one. Like, I
all right, we can't turn this into another bagging on Atomic Blonde session. I think it's okay if you rent it. You'll be fine.
There's nothing you're really gonna get out of seeing it in cinemas.
Not like Valerian.
Yeah, it's not super well shot. It's just like it's by the numbers action movie. Like,
and that's the best and worst thing you can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, in a not super stellar summer that's full of a lot of reboots, sequels, and adaptations,
franchise non-starters.
Yeah, like, it really. Like, I don't regret seeing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're on the fence, just wait to go see it. Like.
But a movie that we are excited to go see next week, It.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have high hopes for that one.
Yeah, I've completely stopped even looking up anything about that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna save that for when we actually talk about It. I think you know what I was gonna bring up too.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. If you saw the movie and you had different thoughts, let me know below. YouTube.com/GlassFilmsHouse, Facebook.com/GlassHouseFilms, Twitter @GlassHouseFilms. Thank y'all and see you next time. Bye.
Later.